Welcome to Roast My Ride. This is the race bike edition. You've submitted your bikes for us to roast. We are always too nice, apparently, and I promise you, for the first time ever, I'm going to be ruthless. I'm going to destroy all of these rubbish, horrible race bikes.
Those are banned words. Bike number one is from Graham Walter, a Cervélo Soloist, and it is beautiful.
Do you like that? That's a piece of shit bike. I'm joking. Okay. I wanted to go in hard, but... Right, so where are we at?
It's difficult from the off.
So I believe the Soloist was a really old school Cervélo bike that they brought back in more recently as their kind of like race bike.
It's not, that's what S means, Soloist. So ES5 is a Soloist, technically.
Yeah, but they don't call it a Soloist.
Nah, okay,
they used to be called Soloist, then they stopped, and now they've brought it back, haven't they?
So I've had a bike which was close-ish to this one, but even older, and it was a rim brake aluminium Cervélo S1. I'll put it on the screen. My first proper racing bike, dedicated racing bike, and it was awesome. It was very, very uncomfortable, mainly because it's super stiff and aluminium, and I got the wrong side.
Oh yes, of course. That's the point where like race bikes were alloy, but aero.
People had carbon. I just couldn't afford carbon.
But it was the point where the alloy was being used to make like aero-y-ish shapes, wasn't it?
Big aero tubes, and alloy is pretty stiff at a baseline, so it was harsh.
I'm sorry to break this to you, Francis, but this video isn't about you. So we need to go back to Graham's bike and, well, roast it, I guess.
Well, the reason I mentioned it is because of the bar tape. I had white bar tape and a white saddle on mine as well. I'm just being nostalgic.
You're being nice is what you are. We're supposed to be ruthless.
Yeah, my bike was sick. This one.
Right, okay. What have we got then? It's peach, it's orange, it's... is that peach? It's like a peachy orange, isn't it? I'll be honest, I like the colour.
Yes, I really like the colour. The wheels also match and are from Reserve, which is the wheel brand that Cervélo own. Saddle, we have no information about this bike, by the way, so we're just going by eye. He was just like, here's my bike.
I don't think it even said that, to be honest. We've only got his name from his email address.
Really?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of white saddles and tape because they...
Go brown.
They just go dirty, don't they? They look
quickly.
mucky, and if you like it, if you like your bike to be clean and pristine, which I'll be honest, I don't, it's the sort of thing where you go, well, you may want to change it. That taping looks like he's only taped it to the hood. I've tried to zoom in to really get a
Yeah,
gauge.
but those bars are the ones with the flat section, and then it has a weird like lump.
So you can't tape over it.
Well, you could if you really were inclined. You can tape over most things.
But that's barely taped even past the like shifter hood.
Yeah, it's odd. It's a bit odd. I wonder what frame size that is. Huge.
Do you think?
Yeah, look at the head tube.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Massive. I think this handlebar is a Pro. Guess the price. A Pro Vibe Evo handlebar and stem. 700 quid. You'd think a third-party bar from Pro would be cheaper.
But I think
than like
the
Scott one or the Specialized
one. I
one.
think that kind of is cheaper these days. I think that's about as cheap as it goes, to be honest.
Oh.
Isn't the Envy one like £1,400?
They are ludicrous money. They are ludicrous money.
I can't get over that taping, to be honest. I'm honestly blown away by how it just kind of stops under the shifter. I was trying to work out if it was one of those bar tapes, which is like half white, half black, but it isn't.
I do like this. Things I would change would be white logos on the wheels. I know he's trying to match the frame, but if you're going to go white handlebar tape, white saddle, I would match the logos as well. And of course, 3 of them.
Oh, maybe we should...
Imagine if if you're really, really tall, how hard it is to reach your bottle cages and get a bottle out. I guess if you're tall, then your arms also scale, so you've got really, really long, like orangutan arms. Maybe he is an orangutan, and that's why he's got an orange bike.
I think typically your arms are also long if you were tall. I don't think everyone has the
like
same
Michael
length
Phelps.
arms.
It's Michael Phelps' bike.
Right.
Can't put that in.
Can we fucking wind up this bike, please? We've been doing this section for too long.
Okay, and it's not making you angry enough, so you're upset about it. We're going to move on, okay?
So I think we should adjust the scale for this, specifically this edition, because this is the race bike edition. I think a 10 should represent that bike looks unbelievably fast. And a 1 is that bike doesn't look very fast, but it's a race bike, but it looks slow.
Okay, so it's a 7. It looks fast. It looks fast.
It's a definite 7.
Nice one, Graham. Next up, we have a bike from McCarran. Been a cycling enthusiast for 15 years and even ran a cycling mechanics business through COVID. I decided I should have my very own brand new road bike. Instead of buying one, I custom built it with an aero Chinese frame. Everything on it is aero and carbon. Race bike. Fitted with 105, which was going cheap, £300 on Wiggle, bargain, and Zip 60 wheel set off a TT bike that I bought to break and resell. Made an insane loss on it. Good job. But you got some cool wheels. I used to have those wheels. They were the next wheels to go on my Cervélo S1. They really were. I could only afford the front one though, so it was a wheel. The full build cost £1,500 and it weighs 8.2 kg. It looks fast.
Have you noticed that the term aero has become an aesthetic rather than a performance?
Yeah, but it might not be aero at all. But if you make it angular and aggressive looking and fat,
beefy, then it's aero.
Which clearly adds a few grams.
The
bit angular for me, but then if you're going for the racing thing,
the 3 logo thing.
Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's gold.
3 logos that are white is king. And it's not because of a static photo, it's actually because of when it's moving and they're going, you just got these, it looks great.
100%, that's my point.
However, I wouldn't have tyres that then have big writing on as well, especially if it doesn't have 3s to match the 3s. He's made a mistake.
Well, you are angry today. It's the most angry I've ever seen you. What makes this bike cool is the wheels. And I think I just want to set up those wheels.
Yeah. Not rim brake though.
No, I do.
I know you do, but you shouldn't, because you're gonna have to be buying dodgy old weird TT bikes on eBay for spares to be able to get stuff to be able to fit on your rim brake wheels. Like there'll come a point where you go, right, I need a quick release skewer because my one just snapped. Where are you gonna get it?
McCarran.
Exactly, and he's gonna charge you £1,500.
I think it's pretty safe to say this bike is not going to be as fast as the previous one, but purely based on the aesthetics, it looks faster.
Yeah, and that's what the scale is based on this time.
And as we know, smaller bikes are better.
I don't care if a bike is faster or slower. It's just whether it looks faster. That's the only thing we care about.
And he's done that. He's nailed it. He's nailed it.
He's complete. Like if you think those logos going around, think how fast he's going to look when he's going like 5 kph.
And he rides so fast he doesn't need bottles. So he's getting 8 out of 10.
Seconded.
Next up, we have a bike from Frederick from Norway. I'm 16 and I bought this bike myself. Good for you. This is my Farah F Road. It has a very narrow 36cm cockpit, 130mm stem, 165 cranks, SRAM rival except for the crankset and front chainrings in force, as well as some aluminium fulcrum wheels for training with Vittoria Corsa Pros 32mm. But then I've got some Zip 303s for racing with GP 5000s. Excellent choice. The bike can handle up to 35mm tyres, so I plan on doing a light gravel Gran Fondo on it this summer. Isn't that cool? You can get a race bike which clearly can be raced, but also ride gravel on it. Like everything coming out has massive tyre clearance. It's kind of good.
This is a bit of us. This is definitely a bit of us. Does it say how tall he is? Because that's a lot of seat post.
That is a hell of a lot of seat post.
He is Norwegian.
He's good, but super aero.
This guy knows. That's a tan wall that beautifully complements the sandy colour of the frame.
I was going to say sandy.
Maybe we were primed by the lovely beach behind it.
The lady from Greece.
Likes his water.
SRAM crankset with the massive SRAM logo. Why have they stopped that? Yeah. Bring it back. It
was cool at a point, wasn't it?
Give us options, but bring it back.
It is a little bit of a generic frame shape though, isn't it? It's that kind of like 10 years ago when all the seat stays started to come down, things started to fatten up a little bit.
You could respray that with quite a few different brand logos and you'd convince me that it's one of their new bikes.
Do I want to have a go on it? Not really.
It's because he sent us it without the zips. If it had the zips on, you'd be like, oh, look at them logos.
No, but
they won't be 3.
But the 303S's doesn't really have a logo on it.
Yeah, true.
I think that is a really nice bike. It is not a bike I want. Does it look fast-ish? But I feel like the gigantic Norwegian on it it's one of those, you know, when you see one of those like big beasts on a bike and you go, oh god, that's a power bike.
A Nord. When
yes.
you choose your character at the start of Skyrim.
And all of a sudden you're like, that's the fastest bike ever in existence.
And all the more reason not to upset him right now.
Definitely,
because he'd punch our face.
Yeah.
Our one face.
Yeah. And when you know what happens to, you know, when the Norwegians come over to this country 2,000 years ago, didn't end well, did it? Didn't end well for us Northumberland folk. I don't know, I kind of want to mark him down now for being Norwegian. Someone has to take responsibility for all of the damage that was done in this country 1,500 years ago.
It should be this guy. Come on.
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for speed.
8 out of 10 for speed, yeah. Next up, we have a bike from Malte. This is why Jimmy leaves me the name. He's like, you do these, you butcher these names, off you go. And then you just sit there giggling. Multi.
I enjoy it so much. It's actually the best bit about making these videos is forcing you to blag your way through all of the.
Oh, I don't need to be nice anymore. Anyway, Multi is the short version of the name. Their full name is Malteser.
In the future videos, if you care about how your name is pronounced, put a phonetic version in for us, please. Thank you very much.
Here's my bike. Got it in October 24 and really, really love it. A Cube Agree C62 Race 2025, size 62.
Oh, we've got another giant.
194 centimeter guy.
Oh my goodness.
That's a big guy. Or it would be also. Oh, I've broken it. Why is it a picture of a car? Oh, okay. Ultegra Di2, Cube integrated cockpit, swapped it. Factor bar tape, 0 setback seat post. Garmin Rally RS 100 pound-meter pedals. Garmin Edge 530. Conti GP 5000s, 28mm. Custom decals. The Toyo tires style comes from the tuning car world. Look at the example picture below. The only thing I know about tuning cars is what I've learned from the Fast and Furious. Yeah.
I've never actually watched any of them.
Me and Danny sat down and we watched all of them. And I really trailed off towards the end.
Isn't there like
it gets
50?
hot. It's like 11, 12. And towards the end, it all starts blurring into one. But they are quite good films.
Doesn't that happen by the second one?
When I say good, I mean there's just explosions and stuff. It's easy watching. And there's Vin Diesel going, family. Yes. Okay, right. So there's a picture of a car. This makes sense now. Shut up legs. Jens Voigt. Classic.
That's the bar tape we use loads of.
I'm guessing like.
Oh, no, it's not. Is it? Yes, it is. That's great bar tape.
Kids getting into cycling now, not going to know that, are they?
What? Shut up legs?
Yeah. They'll be like, who's Jens Voigt? You have to explain. Was a pro who was a massive man who could hang there with the climbers like Andy and Frank Schleck, even though he was huge and be a domestique and still get up the climbs. And he'd be like, shut up legs, the taste of blood in my mouth.
Which isn't really a good message to people, to be honest.
Yeah, well.
And also, in a period of time where very aggressive doping was absolutely everything. I really like Jens Voigt. However, that if your legs are telling you to shut up, you can listen to them if you want.
This is why Jimmy is Mr. Demotivator. Sit down.
I don't know why your legs would say shut up. It would be you telling your legs to shut up. Can we get back to the bike, please? Right.
My legs don't say anything.
Let's have a look at this bike. That's not a bike. That's a.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, we're back on the bike.
Okay.
Little light, very sensible. Some stack of spaces underneath the stem. Clearly, there's bike fit issues here because he's so tall.
Inline seat post slammed forward, so it means he's got the longest legs in the world.
Well, if that is truly a triathlon number, then you want that kind of position on the bike. Yeah, you want like just forward position anyway. Or if you're one of those people who goes on mad breakaways.
There's some marking on that bar tape. Maybe there was clip-ons on there.
No, that's just sweat juice.
Drool.
Sweat juice.
Drool. Interesting. So either it's road TT positioning for potentially a triathlon, or we think he's got the longest legs in Europe and the tiniest torso.
That is insanely aggressive, despite the big spaces. But he is at the ends of... We normally moan at bike brands for not making bikes small enough. Very rarely do we find someone who struggles with them not going big enough. Here's an example. I
think we had one in another video as well, didn't we? Where it was a really...
And he just had to put loads of spaces and stuff to make it work.
So, all right, there's a common theme here. Amber wall tyres, unbelievably tall people, and 16 to 20-year-olds. It's a new theme I've noticed in our Roast My Rides.
How old is this person?
Well, this isn't one of the young ones, but the previous lad was 16, wasn't
Yeah, you can't be 16 and have grown that big.
Well,
Imagine the growing pains.
but look at the size of the previous bike.
The wheel thing is growing on me.
I like it.
The more I look at it, and the more I've seen the inspo, the more... Well, it's on the tyres. Tyres should have this on. You know, it's... Is it on the tyres? Yes, it is on the tyres. It's like Maxxis.
Yeah.
You ever Maxxis tyres? Well,
Yeah.
I haven't actually... I think we might have some.
No.
But they have big white... In some cases, I think they're the special ones that you can't really buy, or yellow Maxxis logo on the side.
I think they're usually yellow now.
Yeah.
I wish that he had not gone completely true to the car modding world and maybe split the word Toyo and tyres so that he had 3 logos instead of 2.
Oh, yes. That'd be 10 out of 10.
This must be this little like bento box thing under the top tube must be a cube thing, I'm assuming, because I think I've seen that on a different cube as well, or maybe the same model. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
I mean, it's one of those things that back in the day I would have been like, oh, why is that there? And then taken it off straight away. But in actual fact, it's really useful. For us, this would be a very fast bike if we could remove the seat post entirely and just have the saddle stuck on the top tube. And there it would be at 8 out of 10.
Speak for yourself, Tiny Man. Oh god, I love these videos. They're great.
How have we done so many and people still watch them? Thanks for watching, guys.
I want to get hold of. I want to see what Cube come out with in 2025 and see if we can get hold of some more Cube bikes and see what we think of them, because they are astronomically amazing value and
on paper
they must be good. They must be.
Well, I've had one.
Yeah.
And ridden it. We bought it and I rode it twice in 2 big trips and it was fine. There were some issues. It was a lower end spec, and the brakes were just not very good.
I feel like it's harder to get an alloy bike wrong than a carbon bike for some reason. And I think it's maybe because in the carbon world they do so much complicated tubing and bits and pieces all over the place, it increases the chances that it's not a very good bike. So I would definitely want to get hold of some of the Cube carbon stuff. Not necessarily the top end stuff, and give it a whirl.
Yeah, let's try some of the carbon stuff. Thank you for that inspiration and sending your bike in. Let's go to the next one.
We haven't rated it though.
I did.
What did you say?
8 out of 10.
Oh, did you?
If we put the saddle on the top tube.
Oh, right. That was actually just like your...
That's my rating.
Oh, right. Okay. 7 out of 10.
Next, we have a bike from Sebv V2. Version 2. What happened to Sebv 1? Hey, I've been watching your content for a while now, and I don't think I've ever seen a fixie in any of the Roast My Ride episodes I've seen so far, so I had to represent. Yes, lad. What I've got is a 2010 Cinelli Mash Bolt, Dura Ace 7710, H Plus and Sun. Oh, I know those wheels. Arched archetypes with Max Superlight hubs, DT Swiss competition spokes, Specialized Comp multi-stem, my favorite stem in the world. The most boring stem in the world that I love. Cell Italia SLR saddle, KMC track chain. This is my daily and I use it to commute into the city. Brakeless. I'm only 18. Don't got that much cash on hand, so this is what I ended up with. I have been there, my friend. I basically, do you remember the 107 challenge with Chris Hall?
Yep.
Where he rode every day for 107 days to raise money for a children's school. And I joined him for a lot of that ride. I did not have a bike. I put together, on the wall behind me, which I will flash up on the screen, Cinelli Mash histogram frame, which I found cheap online, and then built up with a bunch of parts similar to this. Less good wheels, and it was a great bike. Got me through the winter.
I've always been a big fan of single speeds if where you live is flat as a daily commuter bike, because they just don't go wrong. You put a super beefy track chain on it.
Never need to lube it.
It's just absolutely bomb-proof.
Yeah.
And that's what this lad's working for this dude. Sweet.
What tyres is he running? I'm assuming some skidding goes on here. What we always used to do is put gator skin hard shells, which you can't get on and off very easily. You will lose the will to live. You do not want to do it at the side of the road, but They were so thick that you would never puncture. And you could skid them like loads and loads.
Yeah. I remember all of the fixie boys used to just ride around on rear tyres that had just loads of patches. And then they would just swap them around. I'm assuming where this person lives, which we are unsure, there is not a law that says that you have to have 2 brakes like there is in the United Kingdom. And he hasn't got bar tape.
Spent it all on the good wheels.
I'm not in love with the paint job. Those cranks, I love them. They are so cool. What was the crank that I used to have on my single speed? There was a brand of like fixie crank that everyone used to have back in the day.
The cheap one, Strong Light.
Yes, yeah. Oh, they
That's
were
what
cool,
I had
man.
on mine.
Yeah. Oh, they were.
This has inspired me to put my one back together, which I think is still functional, despite it's got a big dent in the down tube because it was on my friend's car roof. Drove into a car park, and then the whole roof rack, including the bike, came off.
I remember when
bad.
that happened.
I won't say who it was because he still feels bad.
You were so upset about it.
Rightly so. It wasn't his. It was no one's fault. Okay, it was fully his wish.
That is actually. Do you know what? That reason. That Cinelli is the reason why we go bikes on the roof, bikes on the roof, bikes on the roof, bikes on the roof, bikes on the roof. Every time they're on the roof for the whole journey, so it cannot be forgotten. And we actually nearly did it, didn't we? In the Lake District when we were doing our travel series.
We go, whoa! And then people are like, whoa!
But we still had to go in the car park, so we blocked the road, jumped out, and quickly took the bikes off.
Instead of an alloy Cinelli, it would have been 2 carbon gravel bikes gone. And you know that roof rack wouldn't have come off; it would have just gone.
The roof of the car.
Oh, open top.
It's called a convertible. Right.
Like Penelope pit stop.
I don't love the paint. I do. It's actually kind of nice.
Again, it grows. It's like the Italian, isn't it?
If that was
Like,
all that green,
loads of
I think
colours.
if that was all green or all white, I'm in. I do quite like your one though. That was like a super trendy one, wasn't it?
It's
back in
because
the day?
the only colours are on the inside. The rest of it is a black bike.
Yeah.
That's why you like it. Just accept that you want a black bike.
This is the closest bike to actually being like a proper pedigree race bike. Like that bike exists to be raced. The other ones exist to be ridden fast. That one exists to be raced. Yes, he's not using it to race, but that's why it exists. I am therefore going to give that 9 out of 10. It's the closest we've got thus far to the all-elusive 10 out of 10 aesthetic race bike.
9 out of 10. Next up, we have one from Roman. This was my absolute weapon on the road, but sadly, I had to let it go last week. Still, I wanted to give it one last send-off, and what better way than letting you tear it apart. The specs are a black ink integrated bar stem, 40 centimeters, bought after a bike fit. Lizard skin bar tape, full SRAM red 22 group set.
Oh, yeah.
Cane Creek G4 brakes, Cannondale hologram wheels, Pirelli P0 28C tyres, Specialized S-Works Power carbon saddle, Speedplay titanium pedals, Cannondale ultralight bottle cages. Total weight 6.7 kilos. This is back when bikes were light.
Yep. It was. This is the time when it was just so easy to get a sub 7 kilo bike.
Yeah.
Well, okay, not easy, but it wasn't that hard to be able to do. Granted, he has got some mad spec on this. Like those brakes are expensive as can be. Planet X used to do a version of like a rip-off version of that brake, which I bought. They were about 100 quid and they weighed absolutely nothing, but they were completely junk. They didn't stop a bike at all. You don't need a bike that's under 7 kilos, but that is an exceptional starting point for a proper British hill climb bike.
But it's also nice having a light bike for lifting it onto trains or upstairs.
Oh, you sound like Emily now.
Yes, she's got a point.
Yes, okay, fine. She does have a point. You have to lift a bike and
And
therefore...
every time you leave traffic lights, where we have about 2, we ever have to ride through up here.
What are you doing? Lifting your bike? Wait for the light to go red, pick your bike up, walk through the red light so you're technically not breaking the law and then get back on it.
Well, sometimes I do that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you do a little sprint to get up to speed from 0, and that's where your bike weight matters.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is also the point where Cannondale's paint schemes were not exactly great.
That's one of the less offensive ones.
It actually is. As offensive as that is, it is one of the less offensive ones.
It's a correct statement.
One of the best things about Cannondale is their amazing cranks, and it doesn't have the cranks. It doesn't have the Cannondale crank. I guess if you are a hill climber, it looks fast. If you're a crit racer, probably still fast because you're just going to sit in the bunch. If you are a time trialist,
That's not how I would race a crit.
that's not a fast bike.
I'd be off the front. And if I was on that, I'd be like, oh, I wish I was on an aero bike.
I am disappointed you didn't say that's not how I race a crit. I'm off the back.
Sometimes.
Disappointed.
No, I race a crit. I'm either off the front or off the back. There's no in between. Why would you ever do the in between?
Yeah, like
Boring.
yeah. Why would you want to just be in a bunch? To be fair, that is the dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a little man.
There's a little man.
A little man on the fork.
Nice little man. So not only is he not taking stickers off, he's added stickers. He must be a triathlete.
Hill climbing, 9 out of 10. Everything else, 4 out of 10. It's fine, it's not his bike anymore.
Next up, we have a bike from Albert E. Is this... I think I've been on a training camp with this guy before. Just a quick submission for the Rate My Ride segment. Please only roast to medium rare. Replacing my aging SL4 tarmac race bike, I only had 3.2k to spend on a new successor. That's going to be a good bike. I wanted to go electric and hydro to completely remove idle load bearing parts from the rig and reduce wear replacements. The previous bike ate through many cables and components to my cost. So this was maximum price performance race build I built up myself.
Can I just say, what I know thus far is this guy is a fucking bike geek.
It's a Windspace T1550D frame set. They should work on that name. Hunt 50 Carcon wheel set.
I think that's a typo.
Shimano 105 Di2, modified Pro Vibe handlebar with internal hydro cable route, specialized Roman saddle, great saddle, Hunt carbon wheels, BB86BB, Garmin Edge 520. All the best with the fantastic content. Thank you, Albert.
Thank you, Albert.
I haven't seen you in years.
I've broken it down.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? I told you. Oh, no, you're not so smart anymore, are you, Jimmy? Windspace is a Chinese company?
I believe so.
And they are the same company behind Lun Wheels. Lun Wheels. Okay. Lun. I'm pretty sure they sponsored like Vegan Cyclist Team and some other stuff. I've had no hands-on experience with any of these Windspace bikes, but I would like to, based on the prices that they are on offer for online. It looks like a fast bike.
It does look like a fast bike. Those are the like specialized bottle cages that I used to exclusively buy because they are the best shape in the world.
The rib cage.
If I covered that front and you just looked at this back end of the bike, that could be an old tarmac.
Maybe they have not put paint on the back to save weight, Jimmy.
You think?
That's what the bike that I cannot mention over there has done.
Well, it's still heavy though, isn't it? Oh, actually, no, it is quite light to be fair.
Quite light.
Yeah. 105 Di2.
Well proportioned. You can tell he has raced and ridden hard for many, many years, and that position is dialed in.
It doesn't excite me though. I don't see that and go like, oh yeah, I want to go and give that a blast.
It's functional though. It just gets the job done.
Yeah.
Big fan, like the branding is not really my thing.
How much do Windspaces cost these days? Are they cheap or are they not cheap anymore? Because everything that seemed to start as really good value has ended up not being good value.
The frame set with the seat post and fork is $1,200, which is relatively inexpensive for a race bike like that.
A carbon race bike.
Race bike. The wheels, I get like Lun Wheels. I was on their website the other day, and the prices there aren't that dissimilar from some of the Western brands like Swisside and DT Swiss. It's all starting to overlap in terms of value. It
feels like the prices are creeping up to equal Western brands, and obviously the benefit to being in the West and buying a Western brand is you will know the warranty that you are getting with that. And I think some people are perhaps, or historically definitely have been willing to take a gamble on warranty for better value, especially as bikes have been getting more and more expensive. But there does seem to be some kind of like equalization happening a bit, doesn't there?
Well, for sure. This Chinese brand and others are starting to introduce better customer service for Western customers at least. So there's English-speaking people they're employing. There is warranty. There is returns, and that's all factoring into the prices going up. So I guess it all ends up evening out, doesn't it?
What I am comfortable with is it looks fast. It looks like a race bike. It looks like he could win a race on it.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Last on today's episode is from Scott Mitchell, aka Cycle the Nation. I've met this guy.
I've met this guy.
I think he won my Kendall mint cake at hill climb once.
Yours?
Yes.
Oh.
For like heaviest bike.
Oh.
It was the year before you did it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that guy.
Yes. Yeah.
So, see my submission for your biannual roasting. I think you'll find we've done this more than biannual. It's a 2022 Giant TCR Advance Pro 1, which has already seen me do one charity cycling challenge through every county in England. And it will be the bike I ride on my next one in May, June, cycling through every county in the UK. 2,250 miles in 15 days to help raise money for our disabled son and the charity that supports him.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. The first was a Guinness World Record, which I intend to break while setting another this time round. It's had custom paint job done by Phil Callow in charity colours, Muscular Dystrophy UK, with all-important metal flake. Metal! Additionally, I've had a recent upgrade to Aerodynamicist 44s thanks to Hunt, who've loaned me a set for the challenge, on which Conti GP5000 tubeless-ready tyres in tan wool have been mounted, as well as speed plays, and a newer Element Roam V2 plus sensors. I also added the S-Works carbon power saddle as I've got really narrow sit bones. Or, if you prefer... You have to read this bit.
I don't think I can say it. A cute tushy.
The details come with the seat post wrapped in heat shrink, orange lizard skin bar tape made from the skin of lizards. How else do they make it?
I don't
They
know.
peel them, but they leave them alive, and then the skin grows back, doesn't it? Skin grows back.
That's another brand. Oh, a lizard skin and skin grows back, actually, like the same business.
Well, the people who run Skin Grows Back, I've met him actually. He's a secret lizard person underneath. He takes his skin off, uses it to make bar bags.
No, bar tape.
And tape.
And then it grows back.
Separate company. As always, loving everything you guys do. You bring such a refreshing sense of fun to a niche which takes itself way too seriously, and a beacon of positivity which we all benefit from.
Aww.
Thank you very much.
The reality is we're actually both very weird. We have a very odd sense of humour. And we're very fortunate that other people seem to enjoy that.
That is it. That's it in a nutshell. That's a big nut. Fucking huge. The more I look at it, the cooler it gets. Look, even the stem is painted, custom painted.
I think I would use a slightly different orange tone, but he says it's in line with the charity colours, so that's all absolutely fine. What I would change is I wouldn't use amber walls because the amber colour clashes with, well, not clashes, doesn't complement the orange on the frame. So I would just have black tyres on that.
Well, before he starts his charity ride, I'm sure he's going to put some fresh tyres on. And this video won't go out in time, so he will not hear your advice.
You call it bias if you want, I don't care. We're finishing on a 10 out of 10.
What would be biased about it?
The fact that he's doing really good stuff.
You're allowed to be swayed by that.
Okay, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Nice one, Scott. Thanks for sending in your bike. Thank you to everybody for sending in your bikes. If you want to send us more, send them in to ratemyride@cademedia.co.uk.
Put your bike pictures at the top, get a good subject, put some detail in, but not too much, because if there's too many words, we're just going to skip past it. Clear, concise, you're going to increase your chances. Thank you very much.
It's like homework, isn't it?
Yeah, do good homework, and you make less work for us, you're going to increase your chances.
Well, it increases your rating.
And that, yeah. Yeah. Are we done?
Peace.
Is that how we end these videos?